Right, guys, you are welcome to our session of Jenkins. In our yesterday's session, we actually installed Jenkins and we created a job. We have created a job in Jenkins. We created an EC2 machine and we installed Jenkins inside. But we did say that in our real development environment, we are going to have at least three EC2 instances where we are going to have the development instance, the production instance, the testing instance, and the production instance. These are the various instances that we are going to have. And of course, we are going to have our GitHub account. And of course, our developers will be committing code to our GitHub account. All right, we did say that here in this instance, we are going to install Git, we are going to install Maven, we are going to install Jenkins, and then we are also going to install plugins like OpenJDK, because it is a prerequisite for these guys here. Now, we said yesterday that this is the development instance. It is the instance where you do all your development. And which instance is this? This is the QA instance. It is the quality assurance instance. And then which instance is this? This one is the production instance. It is the instance which is already running the application live. Now, we knew that we are supposed to install Git. We are supposed to install Git in this instance. We are supposed to install Maven in this instance. And we are supposed to install OpenJDK and Jenkins in this particular instance. So what are we installing in these other two instances? We are installing what? A web server. A web server. We can install any web server. You have web servers like Tomcat, you have web servers like Nginx, you have so many types of web servers. We are going to be installing the web server Tomcat. And in this other one, what are we going to be installing? We are going to be installing the web server Tomcat. We are going to install Tomcat in this environment and we configure Tomcat. We are going to see how Tomcat is installed and configured. And we are going to install all these ones in this other environment. And then yesterday we talked about installing Jenkins. And we went through series of commands and places to search for Jenkins and all whatnot. We today are going to install Jenkins with one click. And I'm going to teach you how to install Jenkins with one click. It is with the idea of scripting. We are going to use the concept of scripting. When you are going to be receiving job offers, they will tell you that they need somebody with scripting expertise. So you are going to see how I'm going to use scripting and install all these things at once. I'm not going to be installing one after the other. I'm going to install all of them at once. That is automation, and that is what DevOps is all about. Automation. We don't want to be doing things manually. Automation. If you can automate everything, you should automate. DevOps is time, speed, rapidity. So if you can find a way of shortening the pathway in which processes are done, you are the best person in the equipe. You are the best person in the team. So in your DevOps journey, always look for ways of shortening a process of doing something, because that's what DevOps is all about. How can we shorten the process of actually arriving at a particular task? It is DevOps. Okay, so without much, and we also are going to see there are some plugins that works with Jenkins. We are going to see all those plugins that works with Jenkins. We are going to see most of these plugins that works with Jenkins, and then we are going to clone a repository. We are going to clone a repository. You are going to see the meaning of cloning a repository, because most often you will need to be cloning your repository, because you are here, you are the developer here, right? You just join the project. What you first of all must do is that you must first of all clone the repository. You must first of all download everything that is in this repository to your computer. So that's what we are first of all going to do. We are going to clone a repository. After we clone the repository, then we are going to push again to the repository. This is the first thing that you are going to do. This is where we are going to begin, because they just integrated you into a DevOps team. You have entered, they have given you your laptop, they have given you everything. They say that the project is running on this particular GitHub account. So what are you going to do? The first thing is you are going to pull the whole project into your computer before you start building whatsoever and then start pushing. These are developers. You are the one to tell the developer that this is the GitHub account, this is all what is happening there. Okay, you are the one to tell the GitHub developers that here is a particular GitHub that I have set, because you are the one to set up this GitHub. So we are going to pull and then push, and then after we pull and push, we are going to do continuous download. We are going to do continuous build, and then we are going to do continuous deployment. This is what we are going to do: continuous build and continuous deployment and delivery. We are not going to do continuous testing because that is not the DevOps job. We are not going to do continuous testing, but we are going to have a real life project where we are going to see how to use some quality integration tests and all the like and work with our code. So this is what we have to do for today. So let us get directly into our console and start doing things. So we are going to create 3 different EC2 machines, 3 of them. We are going to create 3 different EC2 machines first, and then we are going to create a GitHub account. We are also going to create a GitHub account where we are going to be uploading our code, right? So let's start by creating the 3 computers first. All right, these ones have been terminated. Okay, let us create the 3 computers. We don't give a name now because we are going to name them after, because we are going to create 3 computers at a go. I say I like the Ubuntu spirit. Take a T2 micro and choose 1 key pair for all the 3 computers. If you discover, you see that all of us are seeing all these things. Everybody is creating in this same platform because all our accounts are routed to this platform. You will see all these keys that you are creating, but you cannot use my own key because you don't have it. Each and everyone has his own key in his own desktop. Okay, I will choose an existing security group, but for security group you can choose my security group. It will work for you. If you are using always come, this security group has been configured to receive all, to accept all traffic, but in the real world you will not always be accepting all traffic, please, for security reasons. So we are doing this for procedural reasons. And then I've finished. I have to increase the number of machines to 3 of them, and then I launch. Okay, now good and fine, we have 3 instances that are running. We name our first instance as the prod instance. We name the second one as, no, the first one is not the prod, it is the dev instance, and the second one is the QA instance, and then the third one is the prod instance. Okay, good, fine. We have created all our instances. Let us go now and connect to our dev instance first. Let me connect to our dev instance. We are using SSH client. And my keys are located somewhere here. All right. To zoom like this, you simply press Ctrl and press the plus button on your keyboard. Okay, I would like to be the super user. All right, now we have linked into our development instance. What is the first thing we do? We do sudo update. What is the second thing we do? We install JDK. What is the third thing we do? We go and look for Jenkins. But all those commands, look at what I have done. All those commands, I have piled them into what I call a script. And I've used, this is Jenkins. Look at these commands, seem to be what you know. Sudo apt update, that is to update our repository. Sudo apt install openjdk 11, that is what we did. Sudo apt get install -y get Maven, git and Maven. We are installing Maven here. Sudo wget this and Jenkins. Wow, we are getting Jenkins. And then java-jar jenkins.war is the last command that we ran in order to execute Jenkins. Instead of executing all these commands one by one and going and searching, I have put all of them in a list, and I've just written this hash exclamation sign bin bash, right? Hash exclamation sign bin bash. Look at what I'm going to do. I come to my platform, I open a file using my VI editor. I say I name the file Jenks. It's just a name, .sh, right? I have named a file jenks.sh. I open the file. This is a file that has been opened. I come now to those various steps. I copy all the various steps. And then I paste it into my Jenks file, right? I save and I quit. Good. If I press ls, I will see my Jenks file. This is a Jenks file here, right? Now I want to execute now my Jenks file. It is already a script. This is a shell script. So we are doing shell scripting right now. This is a shell script already, right? So how do I execute this .sh file? I just write sh jenks.sh and bingo, I sit down and I'm drinking my cup of tea while every other thing is installing. All those applications will install as we saw them yesterday. All of them will install. Jenkins will install, Git will install, Maven will install, OpenJDK will install, everything will install right up to the moment where they will just ask me to take the code and enter into the Jenkins web server. So this is one fast way by which you should be doing your things. If they call you to come and set up an infrastructure for maybe Jenkins, and you come and start running one command after the other, man, you are not going to arrive. You see, while this one is running, we can be doing other things. Okay, you see that one has finished, another one is taking over. Now Jenkins is about going through. Roberto, you have a question before we go ahead? I saw your hand up.
Yes, sir. I wanted to know, but we are supposed to know how to type that whole script, from beginning to end ourselves, right?
Yes, they are just the various commands. The commands have been given to you, right? These are the commands. These are all those various commands that we ran yesterday. We ran sudo apt update -y. We ran it. We ran sudo apt install openjdk 11 -y. We ran. These are just all those commands. You can just take the commands and then you align them like this, and then you put. This is the only line that you put at the entry. This is the line that makes the shell daemon understand that this is a shell script. I can execute it. Let me execute all the various commands that are there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, our Jenkins got installed, and here is that our code that we much cherish. Here is the code. But before we copy the code, let us move over to our machine that contains Jenkins. Let us move over to that instance. This is a dev instance, and then we copy what we are going to copy its public IP address. This is the public. We have both public IP and private. We are using public IP for now. You copy your public IP and you paste in your browser. And then you hyphen it with the port number 8080. Did we copy the right thing? Yeah, we copied the right thing. Okay, that our password now. We can go now and copy that our password. Here it is. We copy the password and we paste, and bingo, we are in Jenkins, and we download plugins. Okay, our Jenkins server is okay, good and running. The next thing is our QA server. Let us see our QA server. So as I did say, what you put here will be given to you by the company which you are running. You can put anything there, it doesn't matter. We save and we finish. All these processes we saw yesterday. Okay, our server is up and running for Jenkins. Let us go to Tomcat. For Tomcat, we have just two commands to install. Let us first of all log into our Tomcat server. That is should be our QA server, please, not Tomcat. QA server. Okay, this is our QA instance. We log in. Cool. I said we should be super users. Now for the Tomcat server, we have two commands. Let me look for your notes. Those commands will be in your notes. I haven't arranged that one. That should be the thing. All right, you have to update your repository. So let us make the list of those commands in a separate notepad. The first thing is you have to always update your repository. We are forming a shell script right now. Let us create a shell script. The first one is, our first command is sudo apt get update. That's our first command that we are going to run. The second one is we are going to be installing Tomcat. Let's go for Tomcat 9. And the last one is we are going to be installing a utility of Tomcat that supports with Tomcat. This is a script that we have created like this, and in order to make it executable as a script, we said you run hash that bin bash. Right, this script now like this is executable. We have created a shell script like this. We have created a shell script. So we get into our Tomcat server and we create the file there. Let us call the file Tommy. The file gets open. We copy our script and we paste there. So instead of launching scripts one after the other, we are just going to execute our Tommy folder. Tommy file, please. So Tomcat is getting installed. And the component of Tomcat is getting also installed. Everything has been installed. Now take great concentration here, please. This is something you need to learn and know very well. Now Tomcat has been installed. We need to configure Tomcat. We have to configure Tomcat, which means Tomcat is a web server, and for you to use Tomcat you must have an account created. There must be a user of that particular web server, and we said in order to do that, you will find this in your notes. you are going to go to a particular location. This particular location here, we are using Tomcat 9. You are going to go to this particular location, and then you are going to see a particular file. Let's go to that location, please. You are going to go to this location. For those who know Linux, you should know that CD means taking you to this location. And instead of just going like that, let us actually move one step by the other. We move into CD. We are now in CICD folder. We run ls there, or run ls in CICD folder. We see that there are so many files and folders here. But what are we looking for? We are looking for Tomcat 9. This is it, Tomcat 9. This is the file we are looking for, right? So we can say cd tomcat 9. We cd into Tomcat 9. We are now in Tomcat 9. We run ls there. This is the file we are targeting, tomcat users.xml. Tomcat users.xml. We enter that file. How do we open the file? Just run tomcat hyphen user.xml. You open that file. Did I write something wrong? That is not what I'm expecting to see. Tomcat users. I wrote user. So you see how a difference of just one thing can ruin your life. So I'm supposed to write tomcat users.xml, and then I enter. This is what I'm expecting to see. All right, in this particular file, what do you have to do there? You have to add your user credentials for Tomcat to understand that here that is you. You have to add your user credentials. In your notes, these are your user credentials that I have given. I will tell you what to add there. This is a file that you are going to run. You are going to run this particular file. You are going to run the file called users. Now here we have the username as training. Our username is training. Let's set a password to DevOps 123, right? Our password is DevOps 123. We should not forget this. We set our username to training, our password to DevOps 123. The role that we are given is the manager, and the status is at the graphic user interface. That's what we want. That's where we want this to be. So what do? We copy this. Remember that what we are doing here is setting the user and the password. So we copy this and we come to our Tomcat and we press insert. Remember to always press insert and change this into insert. Then you come right down before the ending. Look at this arrow, this small arrow. Before the ending, you give some space there, right? And then you paste now your the document you copied, the file the text you copied, please. Now that is the text you copy. Password username is training, password is DevOps 123. You are done here. You save and then you quit. Okay, now we have saved and quit. How can we know? We restart Tomcat. We need to restart Tomcat, and that we say we save and quit. Then in order to restart Tomcat, you run the command Tomcat sudo service Tomcat 9 restart as a command. Sudo service Tomcat 9 restart. If you don't restart Tomcat, it will not take, their values will not enter. Good, our service has been restarted. How do we get access to Tomcat? In order to get access to Tomcat, we go to our instance and copy the public IP of our instance, QA public IP. The same thing for Jenkins. Tomcat 2 runs on port number 8080 like Jenkins, but do they have any conflict? No, because they are running in two different computers, so they don't have any conflict of interest. So when you test this and you see it works, that means you have successfully installed Tomcat. You have successfully done your installation of Tomcat. What happens in the third machine? You are going to do the same thing in the third machine, just the same thing, nothing different. Okay, so it will be a way of making you practice and practice more. The third machine, you are still going to do the same thing. Open the machine. We are going to do the same thing here. We change to super user. Then we create our shell file. Still call it Tommy. We still call it Tommy. Yes, Mr. Kiba. You have a question, sir? Mr. Kiba, your hand is up. It seems like you have a question.
Yes, I'm asking if you can magnify the Git batch a little bit so we can see clearly.
Okay.
Yes, please, if possible.
I guess this one is okay.
Yeah, it's fine now. It's fine, sir. Thank you.
All right. So we create our sh shell and then we open it. We go to our, we have already created a script here which installs everything about Tomcat for us. Cool. Are we at the level of production? I'm sure we are at the level of production. Yeah, here. Cool. Sometimes you mix up and you install things where they are not supposed to be installed. Okay, now we are executing our shell command sh to me. So our components are being installed. If you don't know shell scripting, you will be there installing one command after the other. You will waste a lot of time. So you just do shell scripting and you are done. So when they ask you whether you know shell scripting, you say yes, you know shell scripting. So So Tomcat has been installed. We know that after Tomcat has been installed, where do we go? We go to a folder called etc, and we run ls there. We'll see that we want Tomcat 9. This is our Tomcat 9. We go to cd Tomcat 9. We enter there, we run ls, the file we need from cd Tomcat 9. Did we do the right thing? Cd Tomcat 9. Okay, yeah, we are there now. We run cd. This is the file we are targeting, Tomcat users.xml. That's the file we are targeting. So what do we do there? We open the file v tomcat -users.xml. We open the file, we press insert, and then we go down. Before the ending here like this, we create space. Now this is a different saver. This is a different saver. Remember that in our first saver we had the password as, the username as training, and password as DevOps 123. In this one, let us give a different one. Now we can give we can run this command and give username as testing, password as DevOps 246. Okay, we copy this now. And we come and paste here. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. That is what was wrong, but I don't want to take that risk. All right, for the sake of this mistake, when you make a mistake of this nature, what do? You quit without saving. At the beginning we were quitting like this. When we were trying to quit after we have done our changes, right, we were quitting by pressing this, that hyphen, and then we press W cure, and then we press this, we quit. We save and we quit. Now here we want to quit without saving, so that we can arrange what we are trying to arrange, so that we don't mess up with the file. You press this, right, and then you press instead cure A, and then you press that and you quit. So this is quitting while saving, and this is quitting while not saving. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, now I can enter again. You see, everything is there as it was. I have not done anything. There is nothing that has been changed. I go now to insert. Then I come and copy this. So the problem is that we did not copy this -v. Okay. All right, things look good now. Escape. Now we are saving. Cure I. Good. And when we save and finish, what do? We restart Tomcat. Remember the command to restart Tomcat. Don't always forget to restart Tomcat, please. Always restart Tomcat. What are we doing? We are configuring the QA and the production instance. We have finished the configuration of development instance, we have finished the configuration of QA instance, we have finished the configuration of production instance. Let's go now and create our GitHub account, right? Our GitHub repository, not account, please. Our GitHub repository. Now, before we create our GitHub repository, let us first of all download a code from somewhere. Where are we downloading a code? Let's take, for example, here is my GitHub account. Here is my GitHub account. Where is it? There you are. Okay, here's my GitHub account. There are so many projects running in this account. So many projects running here. Okay, I want us to clone a particular project. Might be we clone a project like this one. Let me see it. Yeah, let's clone this project. Let us clone this project. How do we clone this project? The project has a code. Here is the code of the project. Project has a code. So what do we do in order to clone the project? What is the meaning of cloning the project? The meaning of cloning the project is downloading everything that is inside that project into our own local machine. That is the meaning. This is a code. This is a hello world code. This is a code that builds a website where there is a hello world there. This code like this, it builds a website with a hello world. Okay, so we want to just clone that code. So we have downloaded it. Now we go to we open our computers, our own local dashboard, and we go to we create a project on our own. Now we can create, let me see, is there something there? Yep. Okay, let's create a project called, let's create a project called first project. Okay, let's create this project. Now this is a project called first project. We are here. What do? We open git bash from here. Git bash is opened here. And what are we struggling to do here? Should we then now say that we run git clone, and then we paste this? Good. When you run git clone and then you paste that connection, that what you copied, the link you copied from your GitHub, everything about that project is downloaded into your GitHub, into your local machine. Okay, it is downloaded into your local machine. Now this project was committed, and it was the repository was already initialized in Git. That is why you see this .git sign, right? So delete this .git sign, this .git folder, and recopy back the project. Because if you try to work from here, you are not going to work. It is not going to work. Recopy back this project and go to a different folder, create a different project here. Just call it new project. Okay, we have created a new project. Cool, our project is created. Let's go back to our code has been downloaded to our local machine. Let's go back to our GitHub account. This is our GitHub account. Let us create a repository for that project. Each project has its own repository, right? Each project has its own repository. So let us create a project for our repository. So in order to create a project for our repository, a new project for our repository, I have not yet signed in. Okay, when you sign in now, you are going to see this small plus sign here, which helps you in creating a new project. Our project name is new project, right? That's all you do. So we leave the project public. The project will be public. I'll allow it public so that you guys can download the code, right? I'll allow you guys, I'll give you the link so that you can download the code from the project. So the project is public. Anyone can download if anyone has the link. Create repository. Now our repository has been created. Okay, these are the commands to log into our repository. These are the various commands to log into our repository. The first thing you do is, number one, you open now GitHub from the new repository that you created. Always make sure you open GitHub now from the new repository that you created. Open GitHub from here. Then now, here, what are you trying to do? You are initializing git init. You have initialized your GitHub, right? Git status. You see the files that are there. We are going to add all of them. Git add. All the files have been added, so we run the first commit. Git commit -m first commit. So everything has been committed. Okay, now everything has been committed. We need to link now our local repository. This local thing, we need to link it now to our remote repository. This one, how do we link? We copy this. You copy these commands that have been given to you. This one, git remote add origin, that, and then it will add you to that repository. Okay, you have been added to that repository. The repository is already pointing to main. Mr. Kiba asked me to. The repository is already pointing to main, so you don't need to change it to main, because here they are saying that you should always change from that the repository is in main, so you should change from master to main. So we already changed to main. Now we are pushing code into our newly created repository. We are pushing code into our you use git push -u origin main. You push the code. Yes. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Blah 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 to the list. None. Blah blah. Permission denied. Why? Please make sure you have the correct access rights and the repository. Let us see why our permission is being denied. Please make sure, and the repository rights do exist. Yeah. Okay, let us see why we are being refused permission. We have our repository here. We have initialized our repository. It is okay. Then we have our code here. Okay, let's try one more time again. Git status, nothing to commit, working tree is okay, so git push. If it doesn't go, we are going to change the folder git push -u origin main GitHub permission denied for public key. All right, I think I have my public key. Okay, let's change. These are the various type of issues that you always get. While working with your GitHub. Let's name the project now School Web. We paste here. We close this one. We delete this. Then we initialize. We open Git Bash from here. We run git init. Good. Now we run git status. We run git add. Good. We run git commit -m first commit git commit -m first commit. Everything has been committed, so we run now. We take the code here and link it to our local repository. The code has been linked. We run git push -u origin main. Why will our GitHub refuse? Permission denied. Public fata could not read from remote repository. Could not read from remote repository at GitHub. Okay, let's try to see what is happening. As I was saying, for the sake of time, the code, I have the code already in my GitHub. I will give you the code in my GitHub, and in our subsequent lessons we are going to find out what is the issue by pushing our code. There's something that we are doing which is not right. So let us go to where I already have the code. Here is the code in my GitHub account. Okay, this is the code that we downloaded. Here is the code. Okay, now let us consider that we have uploaded the code. If we push the code into that other repository that we created, this is not the repository that we created. If we push the code into that other repository that we created, this is how the code will arrive. Okay, let's consider that we have already pushed the code from here. We have downloaded the code and we have pushed it here. The code is available here. Now we have to start downloading the code from here and building the artifact. How do we go about it? How do we go about downloading the code and building an artifact? Let us go back to our Jenkins. We go back to our Jenkins. We will surely need to log in. We'll have to create a job, right? You know that we need to create a job. Anything you do in Jenkins goes with jobs. Okay, in order to create a job, I did show you what to do. You come to new item. We come now to jobs, right? I'll write to use this job web server. This is a job. Now there are several types of jobs, right? You see here you have freestyle project, you have pipeline project, you have multi-configuration, you have all these types of jobs. For the start, let's just first of all begin with a freestyle job. A freestyle job is not a pipeline job. We are going to come to pipeline because this is where we are heading to. But let's see a freestyle job. It's just a job that you create by just configuring certain issues. So you click on freestyle and you click on OK. All right, this is our job created. Remember, the first thing we want to do is continuous download. We want to download that code from here to here. Where is the code? The code is in GitHub and we want to download it from here to here. So where are we going? This is the Jenkins environment. This is how it looks like. When you enter the Jenkins environment, there are a lot of things that you need to configure there. But the first thing that you should know is that there are some plugins that you need to install. How do you install those plugins? How do you install the various plugins at the level of Jenkins? You come to manage Jenkins. From Jenkins dashboard, you come to manage Jenkins, and then when you are at manage Jenkins, you come to manage plugins, and then you go to available plugins. I have put the list of those plugins in a folder here, which I'm going to give to you. The first plugin that you are going to download is, you are going to download all these 10 plugins after all, because they are going to help you in your full pipeline. These are the plugins that you need to download. You are going to download build pipeline. You are going to download deploy to container. This plugin is going to help you to visualize your pipeline. This one is going to help you to deploy to your Tomcat that you have just created. This one is a Sonar Scanner plugin. These are plugins that you are going to all download. So for the moment, let's download build pipeline, deploy to container, and build utility steps. These three. Okay, so we are downloading plugins. The first one is build pipeline. You type the name of the plugin here. You see the plugin pops up, and then you install without restart. You see the plugin is installing. It has installed. You go back to available plugins. The second plugin that we said we want to download is deploy to container. That deploy to, you will see the plugin come up. Install without restart. You see it is installing. Success. You go back. The last plugin that we want to download is pipeline utility steps. So we write pipeline utility steps. Here is a plugin. Install. All these plugins. Jenkins is all about plugins. There are thousands of plugins, thousands of them doing different type of things. So these plugins have been installed. Fine. If our plugins are installed, let's now configure our job to do what? Let's consider our job to start downloading. So you come to your job, this small arrow pops down here, this small arrow pops down. You go now to configure, then you go to build steps, right? No, not build steps, source code management. First of all, go to source code management because you want to download. What is your source code management? Your source code management is Git, right? And which repository are you downloading from? Which repository do you want to download from? We are downloading from our GitHub repository, which is a public repository. This is the repository that we want to download from. We are downloading from this repository. So here is the code we want to download. Download HTTPS, please. We download from this repository. We paste the repository here. This is the repository we want to download. The repository does not have credentials, but for repositories that are in the real company situation, you have credentials of the repository where you have the password of that repository, the username and the password of that repository. Remember that our branch is the main branch, not the master one. Okay, and then we go with apply and save. Our job is ready. Okay, our job is ready. You can see build now. Let us build a job. We run build. Okay, when we run build, we see something down here. Look at down here. Okay, our job is succeeded. What has happened? What has happened? We have seen something like a success here. Run that. You will see that if you come to console output, you will discover that our job build downloaded successfully, not build, downloaded with success. There are so many times that I wish you can run this and it doesn't download or it doesn't build. So many times. Don't mind because you just run it one time. Where is our job downloaded? This, all that code that we had is downloaded into this workspace, right? Question in the interview: what is a Jenkins workspace? What is a Jenkins workspace? A Jenkins workspace is a space where jobs are downloaded and kept. Many jobs can be available in a Jenkins workspace. If we go to this particular environment, we are going to see this particular job available there. Okay, we can go to that environment to see that particular job available there. Let us go to that environment. Remember that we have downloaded the job where? In the dev instance. This is where we are downloading the job. We are downloading it in the dev instance. So we are going to the dev instance. We want to enter the dev instance to see particularly the job. Okay, so that you should know how to find the job, because there's a lot of troubleshooting that you might do by looking for Jenkins jobs. By looking for Jenkins jobs, there's a lot of troubleshooting that you might do. Now, we said the job is available somewhere. Where is the job available? Let's see. They said the job is available at root. This is the location of the job. I just copy the location, then I come to my dev instance, then I run cd to this location. I am in that location. I run ls. You see, here is a job. Okay, here are all those files that you saw in the repository. There's a Docker file, there's a README file, there's a Jenkins file, there's a Maven file, there's a POM, there's everything. All these files are available there. Okay, all the files are available there. Okay, now the problem with this one is that we have Dockerized the job, and we will need to run the job directly in Docker. So the output might not come out because we have not yet installed Docker to run the job. We have not yet come to the level of installing Docker. Okay, we have run continuous download. Okay, we have run continuous download. Now what should we do? We should run continuous build. Let us run continuous build. Okay, how do we run continuous build? We run continuous build by going again into our console. This is our job. Remember, you come to your job. This is your job. You come to configure, and then now we came to source code management where we wanted to do continuous download. Now we are coming to build steps. In build steps, you have to come here, build steps, and then you take invoke top level Maven targets. That's why you take invoke top level Maven targets. Here is where you put now that code where you were packaging. What was the code? It was mvn package. Mvn package. When you run package, the code will be immediately packaged and built. That's all you do there. You have finished stage 2, which is building. If you did everything well, the job will build. We are running the job already from here directly. Okay, we are running the job directly from build now. Okay, so the job is struggling to build. You can see that it is struggling to build here. I'm expecting a failure because the code that I took is already dockerized. The job is struggling to rebuild the code. So it is turning and turning. It is trying to build, struggling to build. It is going to give us an output whether it is successful or not. We can see the output by running. It is already giving us a red light, telling us that it is inside a loop. The job is inside a loop, and I know the reason for that. I took the wrong code. So Maven is having a problem building a code that seemed to already been highly built. That will be like not adding something to it, but removing something from it, which is not normal. So as I said, I took the wrong code. I have to abort the job. Okay, abort me the job. All right, I can go with it to another. No, it's like my Jenkins. Oh, my Jenkins got terminated. That was not cool. What happened to my instance? What happened to my dev instance? 122 IP did not change. Then why is Jenkins not able to come on? my Jenkins is not functioning. I can't tell why. Okay, but let me relaunch Jenkins here. CD. Okay, I cannot even log into Jenkins anymore. From all indication, my Jenkins has blocked, so I have to log back to Jenkins. Am I having an issue with my system? My machines are running normally. Cool. Why am I unable to log in? Okay, I did log in. Sudo su and then ls here. Jenkins. The command is java -jar jenkins .war. Java, okay, java -jar jenkins .war. Okay, let's restart our Jenkins. Jenkins is fully running now. Let's see what is gonna happen if we... Okay, it is coming now. Admin. All right, our job has run how many times? 11 minutes ago, just one time. So let's see whether our configurations were taken into consideration. We were at the build step and we said we ran mvn package and we applied yes, and we triggered a build. We are expecting either a failure or a success. It should not leave us in a loop. Okay, our build has been succeeded, so we can discover that our build, look at the console, view console. All right, our build was succeeded very well. Okay guys, let's end here. We are going to continue with continuous download, a continuous build, and we are going to finish with freestyle job tomorrow, and possibly we are going to start and build a pipeline job tomorrow. There are two different pipeline jobs. We have the scripted and the declarative pipeline. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.